Sit closer to the flame, my friend. Tonight, the air feels different, doesn't it? There is a weight to the silence, a sense that we have reached a summit together. We have spent 19 nights exploring the corners of the soul, the shadows of the heart, and the echoes of the mountain. We have talked about silence, about solitude, about the slow dance of patience. But tonight, I want to speak to you about something that few people ever dare to face, the moment of the great transition. You see, most people spend their entire lives building walls, collecting things, and trying to stay exactly where they are. They fear change like they fear the dark. But look at the moon tonight, half hidden by clouds. It is constantly changing, yet it is always the moon. Tonight is the night we realize that to truly live, we must learn to die to who we were yesterday, so we can be reborn into who we are meant to be tomorrow. This is not the end of our journey, my friend. It is merely the end of your apprenticeship. The real work is about to begin. I remember when I first came to this cabin, years ago, with a heart full of noise and a mind full of maps that led nowhere. I thought I was coming here to find answers. I thought I would sit on this porch and the universe would whisper secrets into my ear like a lover. But the mountains are not so kind. They don't give you answers, they take away your questions. They strip you of your titles, your ego, and your certainties until there is nothing left but the raw, beating heart of your existence. I spent months fighting the change. I wanted to be the Christopher I was in the city, the man who was busy, the man who was important. But the snow doesn't care about your importance. The wind doesn't bow to your titles. I had to go through a great transition. I had to let that old man die in the cold so that the man you see before you today could be born. It was painful, yes. It was terrifying. But on the other side of that fear was a freedom I cannot describe. It is the freedom of a bird that has finally stopped trying to carry its cage. You are standing at a similar threshold now. You have listened to these stories, you have felt the truth of these lessons, and now you are starting to feel the shift within yourself. Your old life, the one lived for the approval of others, the one driven by the fear of missing out, is starting to feel like a suit of clothes that is 3 sizes too small. You are outgrowing your own skin. This is the great transition. It is the moment when you stop being a student of wisdom and start being a living manifestation of it. You see, wisdom is not something you know, it is something you are. You can read 1,000 books about swimming, but you will never know the water until you dive in. Tonight, I am asking you to dive. I am asking you to let go of the shore. The journey we have taken so far has been about preparing your ship. We have fixed the leaks, we have strengthened the mast, and we have stocked the hold. But a ship is not meant to sit in the harbor forever. It is meant for the deep, dark, and beautiful ocean. Think about the seasons. We are in the heart of winter now. The world looks dead. The trees are skeletons, the ground is iron, and the life is hidden deep beneath the ice. If you didn't know better, you would think this was the end. But the forest knows better. This death is the great transition required for spring. Without the cold, the seeds would never break. Without the weight of the snow, the branches would never learn to be flexible. You are in your own winter right now. You are feeling the weight of your own transformation. Do not mistake this heaviness for failure. Do not mistake the darkness for defeat. You are simply in the cocoon phase. Everything you know about yourself is being liquefied so it can be restructured into something that can fly. This is the sacred alchemy of life. It takes time, it takes heat, and it takes a total surrender to the process. You cannot rush a metamorphosis. You can only trust that the wings are being formed even when you feel most grounded. I once knew a sculptor who worked with the hardest granite from the north. He would spend years on a single block of stone. I asked him once, "How do you know what to carve?" He looked at me with eyes that had seen 1,000 statues hidden in rocks and said, "Christopher, I don't carve the statue. I simply remove everything that is not the statue." That is what we have been doing here. We have been chipping away at the not you. We have been removing the fear, the ego, the impatience, and the lies that you were told about who you should be. What is left? What is that core that remains when everything else is gone? That is your true self. That is the light that does not flicker when the wind blows. The great transition is the final act of removing the last piece of unnecessary stone. It is the moment when the statue finally breathes. And I tell you, my friend, you are starting to breathe. I can see it in your eyes. The noise of the world is no longer drowning out the music of your soul. But be warned, the world will try to pull you back. It will try to convince you that this peace you have found is an illusion. It will try to lure you back into the race, back into the noise, back into the importance. They will call you strange. They will say you have changed. And you must answer them with your silence. You must hold on to this inner cabin we have built together. This cabin is not just a place in the mountains, it is a state of mind. It is a sanctuary you carry within you, whether you are walking down a crowded street or sitting in a quiet room. The great transition is about making this peace portable. It is about realizing that you don't need Christopher, and you don't need these mountains, because the mountain has moved inside of you. You are becoming your own teacher, your own guide, and your own light. This is the goal of every true journey, to finally arrive back where you started and know the place for the first time. As we sit here, on the edge of this milestone, I want you to look back at the person who first entered this cabin 20 nights ago. Remember their anxieties, their doubts, their restless energy. Look at them with compassion, but also with the realization that they are no longer here. You have shed that skin. You have crossed a bridge that has collapsed behind you. There is no going back to the way you were. You are now part of the lineage of the seekers, the quiet ones, the ones who know that the real treasure is not found in the daylight of the world, but in the starlight of the spirit. The great transition is the moment you accept this responsibility. The responsibility to live truthfully, to act with kindness, and to remain still when the storm is raging. It is a heavy burden, but it is the only one worth carrying. It is the burden of being truly human. Tonight, the fire will burn low, and the shadows will take over the room. Usually, this is where we say goodbye for the night. But tonight is different. Tonight, I want you to stay awake a little longer. I want you to listen to the house settling, to the wind breathing, and to your own heart beating. Feel the shift. Acknowledge the change. We have finished this chapter, but the book is long, and the ink is still wet. We have many more peaks to climb, many more valleys to cross. But you are ready now. You are no longer a guest in this cabin, you are a part of it. The great transition is over. The new life has begun. And though the path ahead is unmapped and uncertain, you have the inner compass of the silence to guide you. You are ready for what comes next. Rest your mind, but keep your spirit alert. Tomorrow, we will wake up to a world that looks the same, but we will see it with new eyes. We will find beauty in the cracks of the sidewalk and wisdom in the noise of the traffic. We will carry the mountain with us. Sleep now, my brave friend. The stars are watching, the earth is holding you, and your soul is finally at home. The journey continues, and it is more beautiful than you can imagine. Good night, for now. Our next chapter awaits, and I will be here, by the fire, waiting to hear what the silence has told you.